Good morning, welcome to Scotty Crafts and Wendy's World. Today we are bringing you texture paste.
Yay!
With stencils. So we actually stock 3 different varieties of texture paste. One's a lightweight modelling paste, one has sand in it, so you texture on texture.
Yes, yummy.
And the other one is like a heavy weight texture paste.
Okay.
So if you want something pliable like a book cover, then you use the lightweight one, but I've used both and I'm quite satisfied that it's not going to crack when my book cover bends. So any will do the job. But used in combination with stencils, you can do all manner of projects. So
and
there's
you're
just
going
some
to show us.
I am. So that's why the stamps are sitting there, but you're not going to understand that until we get to the other end of the little demo bench here. So you can use it on like your scrapbooking layouts, like Sue's done in the background with the brick stencil here.
That's really lovely, isn't it? It's a really cool effect.
It is. It gives a really raised dimension and it's quite a chalky finish, so it's acceptive of inks and paints and colour mediums, which is awesome. This one here is just straight onto like a canvas.
Yes, I like that. Yeah, that's really nice.
This is done straight onto a book cover, and this is what I mean about it being flexible.
Oh, okay, so that's the lightweight one. Will you be able to bend it?
Yeah, definitely.
When it's dry, okay.
You can do it onto frames as well.
That's very nice, hey? Wow.
And then I just painted over that with black and then used our metallic rub-ons.
Yep.
I do it on, like, look, these are just little pocket envelopes, so you could easily do it on a card surface. And this one here, I've just done it onto a background of a little book cover that we taught as a class here at Scotty Crafts.
That was fun to do, wasn't it?
Down here, I've used some just on book covers as well. So I've just left the paste raw here, so it's just the white finish, nothing else. So it's got quite a rough feel to it, which I love.
Yes.
This one here, I've sprayed over it with dilution. So it will take just about any colour medium that you want to use upon it. You don't have to use it through a stencil here. I've just scraped it onto Hessian, and then once it's dry, coloured it with my distressed paints.
Also cool, hey?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. So what are you going to show us?
I'm going to show how I achieve this technique. Obviously I won't be able to do the whole lot in the shot, but basically it's using the texture paste through a stencil. So I've just taken a manila tag and a Crafters Workshop stencil. Take your texture paste, and I like to use like a spatula or an old credit card.
Yeah.
Scrape the paste through. And it's just like buttering toast. That's the motion that you use. If you can put areas of it really, really thickly. I don't necessarily cover the whole stencil, so I'm going to load it up quite well down the bottom here, Adrian, just so that you can see.
Okay.
And then you can scrape it back so it's very thin in other areas. This will give you highs and lows on your finished project.
Okay,
now the
good.
next step, the little secret.
Step.
To achieve the texture within the stenciled area,
yes.
Take some of your detailed stamps with quite filled in detail.
Yes.
Doesn't really matter what it is. Just moisten it with a little bit of water, so that's just spritzing with water, and then what you do is you take your stamp and you press it into the texture paste while the stencil's still sitting on there and lift off.
Such a cool idea.
Just a little point to note as well, if you're going to use your stamps and things with texture paste, make sure that you wash them all with water. Don't give it a chance to dry on there.
Okay.
So once you've done your texture through the stencil, lift your stencil off.
And you've got your stencil
texture within texture. Oh.
We have to do a class on texture within texture. What a great name.
You can allow that to dry. I've got one here that I did a little earlier. To colour this, as I said, you can use like your distress paints. Just put the colour straight over. So I'm giving the bottle a little bit of a squeeze. This is the Tim Holtz distress paints. I love these.
I love that colour.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Oh, yes. Mixed with that colour.
You notice that I'm dabbing, I'm not swiping. That's quite a rough surface that I'm putting it over, and this has got like a little foam pad on it, so you want to just tap it on. If you swipe it, you're going to rip the foam off the top, but we do sell replacement tops for them.
That's right. That's probably why, because people have done that.
So then you can just spray it with water to move your colour around, and then blot. And continue in that manner, and what you'll get, I'll just see if I can get it to run through some of
I love
this.
that.
So if you blot at that stage, then dry it, then give it a light sand, you'll end up with that look. Now, another way is you can actually colour your texture paste so that when you apply it, it already has the colour in it. So I'm just putting a little bit of distress paint down on my work surface. I'm going to take a little bit of texture paste and I'm just going to melt it through the little bit of paint I've put on my surface.
That is such a cool
Isn't that
technique. I
cool?
love that. Coloured texture paste.
And then you can just swipe that through your stencil. So you can come back in and add bits of white. I'll blend some of the older stuff left on my stencil in amongst it so that you can see, whoops, lift off, and then you have coloured texture paste as opposed to white.
That is so yummy. That's
So-
definitely, texture paste is for me, and I'm going to use it with colour it with my distressed paints. Yay!
So
that is really cool.
just go out there and play. There's no right and wrong way to do it, obviously. Pick the colours that you like, or the colours that will match your finished project, and you're good to go.
Oh, Wendy, thanks so much for that. That's such a cool technique. Even I'm going to go home and try it.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right,
See you
we'll see you
soon.
soon. Bye.
Bye.